Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Morant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing at FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
A night of comedy with Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mother? Where is she? Is she in the crowd? You don't know where your mom is. The mom's up there. What kind of family is this? I'm sorry.
Sebastian Maniscalco and Jim Gaffigan.
I went ziplining for the last time. What is wrong with us? Would you pay $200 to feel like you're about to die 6 times?
Live in Memphis, FedEx Forum, Friday, February 21st. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready to stay up late tonight, because that's what we're doing tonight, Bennett. We're staying up late tonight. Grizzlies are in Phoenix. It's a 9 o'clock tip here in the Central Time Zone. Get you ready for it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Penny Hardaway's Tigers are up to number 14 in the AP poll, so that's awesome, especially with it coming at the same time. Hall of Fame coach Rick Pitino continues to stump for the Tigers to maybe join the Big East, get them out of the AAC. We'll talk about all that. We'll do it in about 20 minutes. Luka played his first game with the Lakers last night. I'll tell you how that went a little later on in the show. Armie Hammer, you know this guy?
I do, yes.
Controversial actor. He was on a podcast this morning, just like us.
Yeah.
Just like us. He was on a podcast this morning, and he denied that he's a cannibal. That's been the allegations connected to him. He's been accused of being a cannibal.
I knew that.
He denies he is a cannibal, but he does acknowledge that he has eaten a freshly killed animal's heart.
Okay. Interesting.
Would you do it?
I'll let you know. I'll let you know in the next segment.
That's a tease. That's a tease. Bennett will let us know in the next segment whether he would eat a freshly killed animal's heart. I can't wait on that. I wish we could skip to it right now. Woo. We'll get to that in the next segment. Jalen Hurts' apartment is going viral after he won the Super Bowl. Have you seen Jalen Hurts' apartment?
No.
I never even thought about where Jalen Hurts lives.
Okay.
And then I was just like playing around on the internet, and it's like, look at Jalen Hurts' apartment. It's gone viral now. He lives modestly, this guy.
Okay.
You know what his rent is? $2,000 a month.
Get out of here.
You're
lying.
Why would I lie about Jalen Hurts' rent? That's not something I'd lie about. I got more important things to lie about.
How's that even possible? Okay, I'm interested in this
one. He lives modestly.
Yeah, I bet.
He lives within his means.
$2K a month?
He lives within his means. He makes 50,
Sounds amazing.
He makes $50 million a year. His
Jeez.
rent's $2,000 a month. He lives modestly. We could all probably learn a lesson from Jalen Hurts. If you want to know the truth, we'll talk about that. We'll do it in just a bit. And Vince Neal's private plane was involved in a crash yesterday. Somebody's dead.
What's going on?
What is going on?
Why are all these planes crashing?
We've got to figure out a way to stop crashing planes.
This is the most plane crashes of my lifetime.
Every day.
There's no question.
It's every day.
Yeah.
But just planes can't stop running into each other.
Right.
And then we get close calls. Those are happening all the time.
Yeah, man.
Woo! It's getting outrageous. I'll tell you what happened. It was down in Arizona. We'll do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, including whether Bennett would ever eat a freshly killed animal's heart. We got a lot to get to. But I want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because game 53 of a scheduled 82, it is set for tonight in Phoenix, Arizona. Grizz-Suns inside the Footprint Center. Tip is scheduled for a little after 9 o'clock.
What's the Footprint Center? We got to.
I know we knew this, Bennett.
This is part of our deal. We got to figure out these arenas.
I know, but we've done this before.
We've done Footprint?
Yes.
Well, that's because Footprint is a security-based solutions company.
Do you know that to be true? Or are you just making something up?
I just figured that.
Footprint, the company.
It's security related.
We've done this. It's a plant-based fiber technology and material. What?
Oh, so it's like AT&T fiber.
I don't know what's happening, Bennett. I don't know what's happening. But we've done this before. There was a moment in both of our lives where we knew exactly what the Footprint Center was named after. But that moment has passed.
Okay.
Grizz are listed as 3.5-point favorites in the Footprint Center, whatever it's named after. The total is 244.5. Did you see the status report for tonight?
I did see the status report.
Is that the prettiest thing you've ever seen in your whole life?
It looks really nice. Yeah, looks really good.
I mean, but if I were to hold up, I got 2 pictures, right? Mm-hmm. And this one is Sydney Sweeney.
Yep.
And this one is the Grizzlies status report. Which one would you rather look at?
As a married man, the Grizzly status report.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other times where it's not so clear that that's what you would do. But this Grizzly status report, buddy, it looks clean. Mm-hmm. They ain't always look this way, but this one looks clean. We ain't got no questionables. We ain't got no probables. And we don't have really any rotation players that are out. This is a healthy Grizzlies team we're going to watch tonight, Bennett.
Except Marvin Bagley, he's out.
Well, that's why I said we have no rotation players.
Yeah, I got you.
You're trying to throw Marvin Bagley into the rotation?
You as who was once upon a time a fan of Marvin Bagley's.
I was once upon a time a fan of Marvin Bagley, but then I watched his career unfold, and I became less of a fan.
Do you buy into? I don't want to spend the whole open on Marvin Bagley.
I do.
Sorry.
Let's do it.
But do you buy into the argument that he has been with nothing but bad situations in his NBA career, and maybe the Grizzlies can revive it?
Nope.
You don't?
Nope,
okay.
Don't buy into that at all.
Wow.
I do think it's true.
Sorry, everyone.
I do think it's true that he has been in bad situations. Mm-hmm. And I do think it's possible that has hindered his development.
Yeah.
But
when you know, right? Like good players always come through.
Provide me with a list of guys whose first X amount of years have been like Marvin Bagley's, and then something good happened after that. Mm-hmm. I think he just is what he is. I wonder
if he can help as a reserve on this team. I wonder.
I doubt it.
We'll see.
I doubt he'll get the opportunity.
I mean, we don't exactly have like insane front court depth, and our 2 starters do get in foul trouble a lot. I mean, that's just
maybe we'll see.
I don't know.
I don't know. It'll be good to see him. I ain't seen no Marvin Bagley. And there was a time
I'm intrigued. There
was a time where I'd go to like AAU games and I'd just sit there and I'd ask Marvin Bagley if he was going to reclassify, and he would act like he didn't know what I was talking about. And then just as soon as Peach Jam was over, he would reclassify.
Right.
So I ain't seen him in a while. I'm looking forward to seeing him, but I am not optimistic that he'll be an impactful member of this organization. I think by the time it's all said and done, Bennett, it's possible you will have contributed more to this franchise than Marvin Bagley.
Well, that's kind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I take that as a compliment.
I meant it as a compliment.
Thank you.
I meant it as a compliment. That status report looks good tonight, though.
Yeah.
You mentioned this yesterday. I think you're right. The Grizzlies are alone in second in the West. Great record, all things considered. But you just got smacked around by the first-place team in the West. And there is this narrative connected to you on some level that your record is mostly the byproduct of you beating up on bad teams.
Right.
And you're not handling the better teams nearly as well. In fact, you're not handling the better teams at all. And if you get smacked around at home by Oklahoma City, shorthanded Oklahoma City, then back that with a loss to a Phoenix franchise that isn't great, but still got Kevin Durant.
That's
and
right.
then you go to LA and you could limp into the All-Star break in a way that just wouldn't feel good. So I would advise against that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, we know what we need to know right now about how they stack up against Oklahoma City, right? Like, Oklahoma City is the clear best team in the West, and they have proven that all season long. And until the Grizzlies beat them, I'm not going to think otherwise. Right. Oklahoma City's the standard, and everybody else is below that in the West.
If you were out there anywhere talking into a microphone about how you don't know who really is the best team in the West, you're not paying attention.
That's right.
That's the best team in the West. You saw them on Saturday night. They were in the visitors' locker room.
Yeah, but and I've said to you, I think it's really important for the Grizzlies to stay in the second seed. You've got Denver right on your heels, who's playing great basketball right now, because I do think that the Grizzlies stack up pretty well against all these teams that are hovering around the play-in right now or in the play-in, and that includes the Phoenix. Well, I think Phoenix actually just fell out of it. They were in 10th. Now they're in 11th, but whatever. Let's just assume they get there. I think this is going to be a great test between them. The Clippers sitting 6 right now. It's just going to be a good test these next 2 days to see how you stack up against these teams that are below you in the standings that I think they match up well against in a first-round playoff series.
For sure. This is the type of team that could be in the play-in tonight, and then you look up and they're playing you in a best-of-7 series. That's absolutely on the table. There's only 2 more games before the All-Star break, and if you lose this one, then you're going to go into the All-Star break, best-case scenario, having lost 2 of your final 3 games, heading into, and it could be 3 straight. So I do think this is a big game. Plus,
it is.
Plus, it's on TNT. That matters.
That
it
definitely
just
matters. Yep.
There will be eyeballs on this game, eyeballs on the Grizzlies that aren't normally there. People see Grizzlies highlights all the time.
Yep.
People don't watch a lot of Grizzlies games. I said this last year about Oklahoma City when they were really good, but not on national television. Heading into the playoffs, I was like, I'm looking forward to just watching Oklahoma City because I don't watch them that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, outside of their games against the Grizzlies, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm being completely honest with you, throughout most of college basketball season, I am consumed with college basketball and Grizzlies. And I don't have a lot of time to jump on League Pass and just be watching random Oklahoma City Rockets games. I don't have time for that. So I was excited to see them in the playoffs last year because I hadn't really spent a lot of time watching them. Tonight, something similar for NBA fans. The Grizzlies aren't on TNT a lot. Tonight they will be. And not everybody has League Pass. And even when you do have League Pass, you ain't always just searching for random games. Not everybody lives it like that. Most people who consume the NBA, you know how they do it? Whatever is on TNT on a Tuesday night.
Yep.
That's what they watch.
Yep.
And that will be the case tonight. You'll be on in every bar in America. You'll be on in every hotel lobby in America. You'll be accessible in a way to the nation that you aren't normally. So it's a big game for that reason as well. You just want people talking good things about it. And if you perform well, they will. And if you don't, they won't. You buy into, you following at all the controversy, the story connected to Phoenix's reportedly toxic locker room, glum locker room?
So I saw KD came out yesterday and he acknowledged the report. I believe it was Ramona Shelburne's report. And he said, he basically said along the lines of, this reporting is coming from people that are in the locker room for, 5 minutes at a time. They see a 5-minute window of what it looks like when we're together all day, and so I actually can buy what he's saying. Now, they're not good, and they've got great players on their team. So there's clearly problems. I don't know if it's problems like they're clashing with each other, but they should be better than they are. They've got two of the great players in the league and one of the greatest players of all time.
Right. Let's just apply common sense here. I have never been in Phoenix's locker room. I am comfortable telling you it must be toxic. There have to be problems in there. Because how could there not be problems? First off, you've got two of the best players in the world, and you stink. All right? That's going to cause problems. Nobody likes to lose.
Right.
And the Suns lose just as often as they win. They're literally 26 and 26.
Yep.
All right? Beyond that, you know they want to move Bradley Beal, but they can't. If you're Kevin Durant, and I'm not telling you how anybody actually feels, because I ain't talked to none of these people. I'm just telling you, this is all stuff you're dealing with in Phoenix right now. If you're Bradley Beal, you know your employer doesn't want you here anymore. But you hold the power to prevent them from doing anything about it. How does that not create a toxic relationship between you and people within the organization?
Right.
All right? Kevin Durant wants to win, I'm certain. Kevin Durant knows that there's a better path to winning and success. You ready for this? If Bradley Beal ain't here anymore. So how do you think that works? Hey, man, I love you, and I know you're doing what's best for your family, but you're making my job harder. It was a great idea to bring you here. It's not working. And because you don't want to relocate your family, I'm stuck losing. How do you think that works? Ask Devin Booker, same thing.
Yeah.
All right? So the way this all became a thing is Tim McMahon is on ESPN, and he mentions that the locker room was toxic, and Ramona just sort of doubled down on that. She used a different word, but sort of doubled down on the same thing. And so you've got two reputable NBA reporters reporting the same thing. And so Kevin might be right in the sense of you can't really have a good grasp for our locker room if you're only in there for 10 minutes. Because in those 10 minutes where you're there, two people could be in a training room. One person could have AirPods in, listening to music, trying to get locked in. Another guy's on an iPad over here looking at defensive schemes. We're all like, so yeah, we're not all in there like having fun and whatever, because we're getting ready to do our jobs. And this is more or less what he's saying. Walk around, family of four. Walk around their house in the morning as everybody's getting up and getting ready. Like, you got one kid in here who's not putting his shoes on the right way. Mom's in here trying to get everybody's backpacks together. Some mornings are awesome. Some of them are just, we're just trying to get ready to get, we got to go.
Yep.
You know, some mornings are like, hey, let's all sit down and everybody sleep okay? What'd you think of Logan Paul last night? And some mornings are, we're just trying to get ready. We got to go. And we're trying to get ready to do what we got to do. So I believe Kevin when he says, just because you walk in our locker room for 10 minutes and it doesn't look like everybody's best friends, that doesn't mean we're not cool. Fine. But it would be impossible to not have locker room problems given the situation they're in. Oh, I didn't even bring it up. They tried to trade Kevin Durant too.
That's right.
So you're Kevin Durant. You want better teammates, but you can't have them because this guy over here won't waive his no trade. And once they can't get a deal done to try to help you be better, they try to get a deal done to get you out of here. So there's no way that is anything other than a bad situation, an uncomfortable and awkward situation.
Honestly, I look at their situation and it makes, it's even more impressive what the Grizzlies are doing because Phoenix has great players on that roster. I'm not saying they're a great team. They've got great players on that roster, but they're always in and out of the lineup and they're not good. Grizzlies have great players that are in and out of the lineup, but they're still consistently a good team in the NBA. I think that's just, that goes to show, that's an organizational thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Like one franchise built this intelligently, and the other one got an owner who was like, let's go do it now. So bring me Kevin Durant now. I'm going to give you everything I got for Kevin Durant now. Okay, well, that's not enough. Okay, bring me Bradley Beal now.
Right.
Okay, now we're stuck. This is what happens sometimes. There's no patience to it. You get a billionaire who everything he's ever touched has been good. That's the weirdest thing about some of the people who
sports ownership.
All of these people have been incredibly successful, unless they inherited the money. But a lot of these people are self-made bazillionaires, which means they've lived an incredible life getting to this point, and then they don't know how to run this thing. They can run all the other things they've been running to get here, but they don't know how to run this thing. and they want it to happen so quickly. And I'm not saying it can't, but I'm just saying, remember when the Nets got new ownership and they were like, we're going to go win it now. And they go get Kevin. And it was just a disaster. Just a disaster. I'm not saying you can't flip it overnight, but it doesn't usually work. And if you're trying to figure out why Phoenix is in this situation and why the Grizzlies are in the situation they're in, two totally different situations, it's because one was a slow build with smart draft picks and smart decisions. That front office has hit way more than it's missed. This franchise was built the way if they were putting together a book on how to build an NBA franchise, this is hit on draft picks, re-sign your stars, work in the margins, find veterans who can help you on small deals. When you recognize somebody might be able to be a rotation piece for you, try to lock them up on a small deal. Give G.G. Jackson his 4-year guaranteed on a little number and hope that in year 3, he's the most underpaid person in the NBA. And Phoenix, you know what they tried to do? Let's just go get Kevin Durant.
Big contracts.
Let's just go get Kevin Durant. And that'll fix everything.
Yep.
Well, no, that's not how you fix everything in the NBA. It's just not how it works. It can sometimes, but not normally. And that's the situation Phoenix now finds. Let's go humble them and humiliate them tonight.
No, we need to, because, I mean, tomorrow night's second night of a back-to-back. So, yeah, you want to get this one. You're better than them.
You're better than them.
You just go get it.
Go be better than them.
You got a bad taste in your mouth after Saturday. You've had a couple days off. Like, this feels like a good spot for the Grizzlies, so hopefully they're able to.
You don't want the TNT crew at halftime saying, yeah, in Memphis, nice record, but every time I see them in a high-profile game, they don't look the part.
Right.
Like Oklahoma City and Boston and Cleveland and whatever. Like, yeah, they're one of the best teams in the world, record-wise, but I wouldn't put them in the category with these other teams. You don't want the TNT crew people talking like that, do you? I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to hear that at all.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to hear that at all.
So you know what you do? Go ahead and perform.
Let's go.
Perform. 9 o'clock tip.
I'm excited.
9 o'clock tip. It's in the Footprint Center.
I still can't figure out what that is.
What do you think's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what the Footprint Center is. Usually I'm pretty good at figuring these things out. This one's got me stumped.
Sometimes I brag about you to other people about how good you are at identifying what arenas are named after, but you struggling today.
Yeah, this one's got me stumped.
You struggling today. We'll be back in a second.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Memphis Cat is back with his Heaven on Earth tour.
I tried to be incognito, but thanks to Shannon Sharp's loud mouth, the gig is up.
February 22nd in the FedEx Forum.
In my spare time, I infiltrate the Illuminati. Look for their secrets. Run back. Tell y'all.
Don't miss this year's most talked about comedy icon live. He's back with brand new material, an unmatched wit, and an electrifying performance. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Penny Hardaway's Tigers are up to number 14 in the AP poll. And according to Jason Munns, who covers the University of Memphis men's basketball program for the Commercial Appeal, this is the highest ranked the Tigers have been this late in the season. Put another way, this is the first time Memphis has been ranked in the top 15 of the AP poll this late in the season in 16 years.
Oh, wow.
16 years.
That is impressive.
Right.
That's really, that's shocking, but that's really cool.
Right. It continues to head in a good direction.
16 years? That's crazy, man.
16 years.
Yeah.
16 years. So 14th in the AP poll. I've got them a little higher in the top 25 and 1. I've got them 12th, but they continue to be a national story with P.J. Haggerty performing like an All-American and rising in the polls consistently. Now top 15 in the country and ranked in the top 15 this deep in the season for the first time in 16 years. And this all comes while conference realignment stuff is starting to pop up again, if only in press conferences and those types of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But I know you saw this, Rick Pitino, the St. John's coach, after St. John's beat UConn last Friday night in Stores. And, Pitino was talking, and he's sort of reached a point in his career now where you just turn the mic on and let him go. He'll say anything.
Yeah.
He's talking about whatever he wants to talk about.
Unfiltered, for sure.
Unfiltered. He'll just talk about anything he wants to talk about. Jim Boeheim got that way eventually at Syracuse. I can't support it with anything tangible, but there is something I have noticed about coaches as they get older. They start to care less about what they're saying. Mm-hmm. They'll drop an F-bomb whenever they feel like it. Something happens. And it has clearly happened to Rick because he just talking about whatever he wants to talk about whenever he wants to talk about it. So he's talking about conference realignment, and he said, I have been banging this drum for a while, but we need to start thinking big picture as the Big East and adding schools. We need to form a super league. And among the schools he mentioned they need to go get is the University of Memphis. Would you want Memphis? I snap my fingers and I say, Bennett, we don't know what we're going to do with the football program exactly. I guess we'd try to keep it in the AAC, maybe. But if there was a way to get all non-football sports that exist in the Big East, get those at the University of Memphis moved into the Big East, would you be in favor of that?
Okay, so forever my stance has always been that I want football and basketball to be together.
I'd like that too.
Yes, I want football and basketball to be together in any type of movement. I think that's important. I've always thought that was important. Now I will say things have changed so much over the past couple years. I think it's so important for football to get into a better league. I do. I also think it is equally as important for basketball to get in a better league. If you came to me right now and said, hey, we'll take basketball, football, you can stay in the American, I might have to think about it. I mean, again, like this team is great. They're number 14th in the country. and they had a good crowd this past weekend. They're not getting crowds that we've seen when Memphis is nationally in the past. When Memphis is nationally ranked, performing at this high of a level, typically the crowds have been way bigger than they are this season. Now, a lot of that is you're getting people back, like because people were uncertain and they're coming back now. But I think that's a problem, and I think that the way to solve it is by getting great competition in Memphis going forward, and that's a way to do it.
That is a way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you would suddenly have games with
every game matters. Every game's big.
St. John's, UConn, Creighton, they're Providence, they're all Georgetown. They're all coming in here.
Yep. But I still would prefer, I think football and basketball need to stick together. I think that's important.
I would prefer that. It is not a sticking point for me, though.
Yeah.
I would prefer it. I think it's kind of cool when you are developing athletic rivalries with schools that you're going to play in basketball and football and soccer. I don't care.
Yeah. Like Auburn hates Alabama and everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like Auburn and Alabama are going to play a basketball game this weekend.
Yeah.
And it'll be historically significant. The first ever 1 versus 2 matchup in SEC history. It's not the football game.
Right.
But it still matters.
It matters.
It still matters. So I would prefer that, but I'm also open-minded about it. And you know who else is? The University of Memphis, because they've reportedly tried something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Reportedly last year.
And we were once in the Big East. We were once a proud Big East member.
There
was a billboard on Times Square. I remember it. I saw it.
There was a logo in the Finch Center.
Yeah.
Big East logo on the wall.
Yeah.
This is people forget this. Memphis was in the Big East. Never competed in the Big East, but was officially a member of the Big East for a minute.
Yep.
Memphis reportedly tried to negotiate a deal where they said, hey, we'll take our football to the new Pac-12 and our basketball to the Big East.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe both sides said no.
Okay.
But I know the Big East said no. And one of the things Rick said, I'll read you the quote exactly. He said, now most of the presidents, and probably including mine, who's a very knowledgeable basketball fan, they think about the money, they think about the bottom line, and it's like a company like Uber starting out and they're losing, $500 million a year, but they understand 10 years down the road, they're going to be making $1 billion. We just can't see that. We can't see that there's a lot of money to be made down the road if we form a super league. I think coaches are in favor of the super league. I just think the presidents are against it. That is my understanding exactly.
Okay.
Because when Memphis passed on the new Pac-12, there was a report that Memphis had reached out to the Big East, and the Big East had said no. And I had a Big East coach call me and say, do you believe this report? And I said, yes, it's what I'm hearing. And he said, I'm telling you, if it were left up to the coaches, and I want to be clear, this was not Rick Pitino, it was another Big East coach.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
But this Big East coach said, I'm telling you, if you put it to a vote of coaches, we would take Memphis today. We would take Memphis right now. The coaches understand Memphis, the value of Memphis, but the presidents don't. The presidents are looking at something different.
Mm-hmm.
The basketball coaches are just looking at, wouldn't it be awesome to have another basketball brand in the league? But the presidents are looking at it, do we really want this institution in our league? And that's the push and pull. And that's why Rick can't win a private conversation with his president, right?
Right.
So what do? You take it public.
Take it public.
Take it public and try to get the fans on your side and try to get people talking about this to where maybe that can put pressure on the presidents to at least be a little more open to the possibility of adding a school like Memphis. Rick didn't only mention Memphis, Dayton, St. Louis. Like basketball programs in real cities that prioritize basketball. That's what they want. And Memphis is that. So if you believe the reporting, and I do, that Memphis was at least open to splitting up and operating in 2 different conferences. I'm not sure either side was willing to take Memphis under those circumstances. But if you told me my options are, if you just said, hey, GP, the Pac-12 thing is just not going to happen. You did some good shows about it, but it's just not going to happen. And there's no reason to think the ACC is coming for us anytime soon. Big 12 coming for us anytime soon. We're just sort of stuck here. We're stuck in the AAC. Would you be willing to take basketball and everything else to the Big East if the AAC will let you stay football? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just think that I'm at the point now where I see where this is going with being in this conference long term that we're in right now, and I want to do anything possible to get out and find a better situation soon.
I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but all the answers you need to understand what life is like in this league, you have them now.
Yes.
You cannot sit around saying things like, well, if we're good, everything will be fine. Because you are good. You are good. You won 11 games in football, and you're ranked 14th in the AP poll in basketball. So you are good. But your fans aren't responding to it. Not in the way that you need them to.
Right.
Not in the way that you need them to. So you can't sit around going, well, like, how's it going to be if we're ever... You are really good, and it doesn't matter the way it should. You are really good. Like, your coaches are doing their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Your coaches are doing the jobs you're paying them to do. Like, I know people nitpick Ryan Silverfield, but, like, 11 wins at Memphis is 11 wins at Memphis.
Yes, he's winning. Right.
And I know Penny, it's been up and down, but, like, right now it's good. Right now, Penny Hardaway and Ryan Silverfield have these programs in pretty good places.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not resonating with your fans the way it should. They're not showing up the way they should. This is your life. Every day you're in this league, this is your life. It will not get much better than this. Every day in your league, this is how you live.
Yep.
I've now put myself in a place where I just want to make it better. Sometimes in a decision-making process, you're always looking for the perfect solution. Well, what if you can't get that? Let's just get something better than we have now. Think of it like house hunting. Man, I want to buy that house. Okay, well, you can't buy that house. What about this house? Well, this house ain't as good as that house. I know, but this house is way better than the house you got.
Mm-hmm.
This is one you can actually get in. I know you want that one. You can't get that one. But you can get this one, and it's better than what you got.
Yeah.
Maybe getting this one, and then maybe one day you can go from this one to that one. But it's pretty clear you ain't going from this one to that one. We've been trying that for 20 years. You ain't going from here to here. So maybe just try to get here and then try to go from there to there. But you got to get into a better place, one way or another. I don't know if this is real or just Rick Pitino talking, right? But this is a way to put, if you think this is smart and your other basketball coaches think it's smart, and the only thing standing between it happening are your university presidents, put public pressure on them. In a kind way. He's not calling anybody out. He's not saying anybody's stupid or idiotic or short-sighted. He's just saying, I wish I'm telling you, I can see the future, and we need to be expanding, not being proud of ourselves and sitting tight. We need to keep growing, because if we don't, other people are, and we will get left behind. Let's don't get left behind. Let's go get Memphis. Let's go get Dayton. Let's go get St. Louis. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I like that he's talking about it publicly, because when he talks about it publicly, guess where else they're talking about it publicly? In New York, in Washington, D.C., in Providence, in Memphis, I bet you in Dayton, St. Louis. That's how you get the conversation started. And then you see where those conversations take you.
Yeah, man. I like the idea.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Number 2.
Luka Doncic made his Lakers debut last night.
I'm tired. I stayed up and watched.
I fell asleep. But Dirk was there.
That's what I was going to bring up.
I mean, if you're a Mavericks fan, how do you even...
Oh, you want to throw up.
You want to throw up.
Yeah. I don't think it means Dirk's changed his loyalty. Him being there with the cameras on him is a clear sign to the Mavericks.
Yes.
Like, he is doing that for a reason.
Yes.
Because he would just go be in a suite.
Yeah.
And not have cameras on him.
First off, he doesn't have to be there.
Right.
All right. He is obligated in no way to be there. He wanted to, sure, show support for Luka, but that was a pretty public stance. Symbolic of the idea of, I do not agree what you guys did. I do not agree with what you guys did. I love this organization. Dallas is my home. But that dude was supposed to have a statue next to me someday.
Mm-hmm.
And you just gave up on it for reasons that make no sense to anybody. Anybody. And did you see that, like, the Dallas owner every time they talk about it, they make it worse. Do you see what the Dallas owner said?
Mm-mm.
So just trying to... It's okay to... we talked about this last week. Sometimes you will make good decisions. Sometimes you'll make bad decisions. This is in all walks of life, all of us, right? You will not always make good decisions, even when you think you are. But do you know what you should be able to do? Always explain it. Always be able to explain it and go, this is how I ended up here. This is why I did what I did. It didn't work out, but this is the logic behind it. It should always at least sound good. And there is not a single time they're talking about this, whether it's Nico Harrison or the owner, where they're talking about it and it sounds good. Here's what the owner said. I'm paraphrasing, but this is it. When you look at Luka Doncic, and the owner never named Luka by name, but this is more or less what the owner said. Every business I run, we hold people to a certain standard, and hard work is the most important aspect of it. Focus and hard work. And if you are going to be a champion in this league, if you're going to be somebody we want to align our franchise with, you've got to bring certain things to the table. Focus, work ethic, hard work, all that stuff. And if you just left it there, you might be okay, right? Because that's what they're doubling down on. You guys don't get it. Luka is lazy.
Didn't look lazy last night, but that's fine.
First team All-NBA, 5 straight years, while being lazy and fat, according to the Dallas Mavericks organization.
Right.
Oh, buddy, wait till he gets in shape, because that's coming.
Yeah.
Opening night next year, Luka Doncic is going to look better than you've ever.
He's going to be shredded, yeah.
He is going to look better than you've ever seen him. Opening night next year. It's going to be. They just got a divorce because their wife put on or their husband put on 10 pounds, as opposed to buy a Peloton or get an Ozempic shot or whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
It's just insane. I love everything about my wife, but she put on 15 pounds, so it's over. Well, guess what? She's going to start doing sit-ups. You'll see. Luka Doncic is going to start doing sit-ups, and, buddy, they're going to regret this for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
So, anyway, this owner, if you just stop there, if you just like, hey, listen, he's fat and lazy, and that is – I ain't giving $350 million to a fat, lazy person, period. All right? I wouldn't agree with it. I'd just say, buddy, you can't see the forest for the trees. You don't know what you're looking at. It's Luka Doncic. Like, deal with it. You don't throw away the talent because he drinks beers too much. All right? This is crazy. But if you just stop there, you might be fine. We just don't want to give – because, like, it's hard to argue with this. I mean, I can. But if you just say, I don't want to give $350 million to somebody who I don't believe works hard and who I don't believe is going to stay healthy. I just say, you're making a mistake. And you say, okay, we'll see then. We'll see. But when you leave it there, you're kind of okay. Here's the problem. They always add stuff, and it's stupid.
Right.
Here's what the owner said. Like, think of the all-time greats. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. So understand what this owner's doing. He's saying to be an all-time great, it takes hard work and focus. And then he throws Shaquille O'Neal in there, whose entire reputation is that he did not work hard and was never focused. Kobe Bryant hated him. Because the reason they broke up is because Kobe was tired of him. Kobe has said, if Shaq worked as hard as me, he'd be the best player in the history of the NBA. He just doesn't work. He'd show up to training camp fat. One time, decided to have a surgery in the season rather than off-season surgery. Do you know why? This is what he actually said out loud. Shaquille O'Neal. I suffered the injury while I was working in the season. So why would I go through the rehab and stuff in my off season, in my off time? That's my time. If I'm going to heal, I'll heal on your time. That was his mindset. So he's banged up going into the season when he could have had like, this is his mindset. Kobe Bryant hated that guy because he was lazy. So you can call Luka lazy, that's fine, but you can't say we need more Shaquille O'Neals.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
I feel sick for Mavericks fans. Like,
dude, I do too. Did you see the fan that they threw out last night? This guy, so they're doing the dance cam, and they're shining the camera on everybody, and it gets this one dude, and he goes, "Fire Nico!" Like, yeah, it's crystal clear.
Yes,
they threw him out.
Yeah,
they threw him out for that.
And here's the problem: first off, you got it. I'm not capable of doing all these jobs that I'm always talking about, but I am capable of applying common sense to just about anything. All right? So I don't have any idea how to run an arena during a game, okay? But here's what I do know. If we've reached the point as an organization where we have to hire security for our general manager, maybe let's not do fan cam things where we're putting close-ups on there, because this is where it's headed. You're begging people to do something like this.
You're begging people.
So let's avoid it. Let's just focus on the game. That is one of those
last night in overtime.
That is one of those things where I would be like, okay, maybe we need to skip this today because it's not going to go well. I don't understand why they just keep walking right into it, man. I feel sick for Mavericks fans. Like you are a fan of an organization that did something nobody understands.
Mm-mm.
Nobody understands what you did, why you did what you did. And when you try to explain it, it doesn't make any sense.
Lakers are going to be good, too. I mean, dude, they're going to be good this season. I don't care about this. Jackson Hayes, caught 2 lobs to start the game last night. One from LeBron and one from Luka. They're going to be fine. I don't care that they don't have a center.
They'll be interesting. They're going to be interesting.
They're going to be interesting, man.
They're going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Armie Hammer was on a podcast this morning. You know this fella?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Armie.
Good-looking fella.
Yeah.
He was in movies and stuff.
Yep.
And then, people started calling him a cannibal. He kept wanting to eat women.
Yes, that's accurate.
Yeah, he was...
I believe he was accused of it by a woman, too. I don't think... Yeah, that was real.
He got some kinks, this guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we ain't here to kink shame. You're not here to kink shame, are you?
No, whatever floats your boat, man.
Whatever floats your boat, right? But this is the big controversy connected to this fella. He'd be like, hey, you're pretty. And he'd be, oh, thank you. And then he'd be like, hey, I'd like to eat your arm. And it's like, whoa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So people start calling him a cannibal, and he was like, I'm not really a cannibal. I was just saying some wild stuff. Sometimes he just likes to say some wild stuff, Sometimes people like to say some wild stuff, right? And so his argument was always, just because I told the woman, he wouldn't deny that he told a woman, I want to eat your flesh.
Mm-hmm.
He would just say, I didn't really mean it like that. We were just talking. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people say some wild stuff. They don't mean it literally, right? You ever heard a phrase like this? I would F the S out of somebody.
I have heard that, yes.
Rosa says it all the time.
I have heard that.
Rosa just always walking around talking about it. No, he's not.
Took me off
guard. No, he's not. But you've heard that, right? Now, does that really mean you want to F the S out of somebody?
Probably not.
Because that would get messy.
Gross.
That sounds gross. That sounds gross. But whatever you're into.
Put it like that.
But whatever you're into, right?
Mm-hmm.
But whatever you're into. So what Armie Hammer would say is, okay, did I tell a woman I'd like to eat her flesh? Yes. But did I ever actually want to eat flesh? No. I might bite a little bit. It's just his things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he jumps on a podcast this morning. So he's just sort of further explaining this. I'm not a cannibal. Stop calling me a cannibal.
Mm-hmm.
But he did say he's a heart eater.
Yeah.
Freshly killed animal.
Yep.
He did not disclose the animal, but freshly killed animal. Let's call it a deer.
Mm-hmm.
Just so we can visualize it. Shoot a deer. Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Something like that?
That's how you do it.
I think so. So you shoot a deer dies. And everybody seems, that must be the most fun thing in the world. You ever shot a deer?
I have not.
It must be the most fun thing in the world. I've never done it. I don't want to do it. But think about how much.
I want to do it either.
Yeah,
I like deer.
I like deer too.
Yeah.
But think about how much fun it must be to do it if you were willing to get up at a ridiculous hour, drive a long ways, and sit in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
The payoff's got to be really great because you couldn't get me to do that stuff no matter what the payoff is. Name the best thing you think I would be interested in and say, but to do it, to get it, you got to get up at 4, you got to drive, put on a bunch of clothes, go sit in a tree, be cold, and don't say a word. Yeah, I don't care.
I don't want to say I'd never go hunting, though, because I do feel hypocritical. I mean, I enjoy meat.
I enjoy meat, but I want other people to I want you to bring it to my plate. I don't want to go out and get it. Just put it on my plate. I don't need to be involved in how we got from point A to point B. I'll just meet you at point B. I'll let you handle the rest.
Okay.
Yeah? I don't think I'd want to shoot a deer. In fact, I'm certain I wouldn't.
I don't want to either.
But every time I see these...
But I feel like a hypocrite.
I see these fellas on Facebook, and they're just sitting there with a dead deer, and they could not be happier.
Right.
I don't understand it, but there's got to be something to it. All right? Anyway, let's say Armie Hammer, he's out with his buddies. They shoot a deer. And then they take all their deer pictures like you do and put them on Facebook. And then, according to Armie Hammer himself, he decided to eat the heart. Let's call it a deer heart.
Yeah.
Would you eat an animal heart, Bennett? Tell the truth.
Fresh.
I mean, it's straight out the animal. I just reached in there and grabbed its heart and said, "Here, Bennett," and you took a bite out of it like it was a pizza roll.
Yes, they say it's like really good for you. I've seen people do it with fish, like giant fish. They'll eat the heart, like they'll just cut it right there on the boat and eat it.
Have you ever had a heart? Any heart?
No,
I don't know that I've ever had a heart.
I don't think I've ever eaten an animal heart. I do not think so. I've had like lingua, the beef tongue. I've had the.
Is that good?
I've had the tripe, like the stomach lining. I've had that kind of
What do you
stuff.
think is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten where you were like, I cannot believe I'm putting this in my mouth right now?
It's I'm trying. Guinea pig. I've eaten guinea pig before. Yeah. Guess where? You know where.
Peru?
Of course.
You went to Peru and ate a guinea pig.
Yeah, I did. Yes. The
Jesus Lord,
delicacy
Bennett.
over there.
How was that?
Tastes like chicken. Yeah, that's what they always say. Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It made me a little sad, but it was good.
I had a pet guinea pig.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. I don't know why. Why do people have guinea pigs? Do people still have guinea pigs?
Yeah, I see them at the pet store. Yeah.
Like when's the last time you walked in somebody's house? They got a guinea pig. I ain't seen one in a minute, but I had one when I was a kid.
No, they still have them. I've seen them at the pet store. Yeah, they got them.
I would advise against it. As a former guinea pig owner, you don't really get much out of it.
We never had guinea pigs. We had hamsters, and then my dog ate them.
Yeah.
So
that's the way that works.
Yeah.
I never ate a guinea pig. But on vacation last summer, we went to some nice restaurant in Spain, and it was a tasting menu. Mm-hmm. Basically like, let's run your card for a bunch of money, and then we'll just bring you whatever we want to bring you. Mm-hmm. One of those deals. And, Michelin stars, the whole, like that type of place, right? Mm-hmm. And the main entree was pigeon.
Okay. This is in New York.
No, this was in Spain.
Oh, this is in Spain. Okay.
Mallorca, Spain.
Yeah. Stuffed pigeon.
It was like a pigeon in like a salted thing. Mm-hmm. They bring it out to the table and they have to they got like a little hammer and a little pick.
It's got the crusted salt around it.
That's right.
Yep.
And then they open it up and it's like,
there it is.
Surprise! It's a pigeon. It looks like a pigeon. Mm-hmm. Like it looks like they took it right out of Central Park and cooked it and brought it to your plate.
And
not great. I didn't. It
wasn't good.
It made me not. I didn't love it. That was a really expensive meal that I didn't enjoy almost any part of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like pigeons so much.
Like I've eaten. I'm trying to think of like what all weird stuff I've done. I've eaten alligator.
I've done that. I don't think that's that bad.
No, I don't think that's that bad. Everybody's done frog legs. Snails. Yeah. Like things. Those are common, but they're still kind of weird.
Pigeon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend pigeon. Heart.
I think I'd eat a cooked heart. I'd try it.
This wasn't cooked. This was.
I can't just like rip a heart out of a deer and eat
If you saw me do that, forget whether you would do that. What would you think of me if we were together and I was just like, I think I'm going to take a bite out of the heart?
See, because where you lose me is it's not the, like, I would be willing to bet that the taste isn't like that bad. I bet like, but
you can't get
look
you
and
can't
the
get
blood,
but that visual is a real thing.
I don't want the blood. Like I like a bleeding steak. When I cut into it and like the juices and the red all over the tape. But there's a difference between that and just straight up blood. I don't want to eat blood. I just don't.
I think it's one of those things where if somebody said, "Here, eat this," it's the most amazing thing, and you didn't know what it was, you'd bite into it and you would just experience that. But once you've already got it in your head that it's a heart, that's too much for me to deal with. I can't just be chomping on a heart. But Armie Hammer did. You think this is something he should have disclosed this morning? Does this make problems? Does this increase the problems for him? Because it's like, on one hand, people still think you're kind of a cannibal, and now even by your own admission, you're a heart eater, and that just sort of continues to fall under the umbrella of you might be too weird for us to deal with.
I mean, the way his career's going, I think he might be too weird for a lot of people to deal with.
Yeah.
He's fallen off quite a bit, but hey. I've been a fan of his work before, so I wish the guy the best. I don't think this is that big a deal because I've heard of it before. Like now when he talks about like his ex-girlfriend and wanted to like rip her skin off, like that's freaky. Like, that's too much. You want to eat an animal heart, you're fine in my book. You're fine in my book.
Bennett says if you want to eat an animal heart, you're fine in his book.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure.
Okay,
but I'm trying to be open-minded about it.
Yeah, I would go hunting too.
I don't think I would.
I think I'd do it.
I don't think I would. Jalen Hurts' apartment is going viral. He's an apartment in New Jersey. He, of course, is the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. He just won a Super Bowl. And his apartment is going viral, not because it's the most amazing apartment in the world, but because it's not. It's just a normal... This dude just lives... Name the apartment complex that you...
Greenbrier.
He lives in Greenbrier. That's where we're at. $2,000 a month. That's his rent. He pays $2,000 a month in rent. Jalen Hurts makes $50 million. And so people ask him about it. He said, well, I live by myself. What do I need? What do I need? I don't understand. He's like, he doesn't understand the question. People look at him and go, why do you live here? And he's like, where do you want me to live? I'm just me. I ain't got kids. I ain't got no wife.
That's
in the off season. He spends most of it back home with his mother.
Okay,
so he's like,
that makes some sense.
So he's like, I'm not even here, in the off season, really. So like, I'm a football player. I get up, I go to the facility, come back home. I don't need much. Here I am. But like, this is not crazy. You could be delivering pizzas for a living, and Jalen Hurts lives next door to you at your apartment complex.
That'd be sick.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about him today because I do feel like I didn't give him like the credit yesterday. Like we talked so much about Mahomes' legacy and stuff like that. Like Jalen Hurts had an awesome year, and that's a guy that got benched in college. So
it's an amazing story.
Yeah,
it will actually be a movie someday. It'll be a great movie someday.
And he, by all accounts, he seems like a really great dude. And this, I think, is really cool. I mean, I do now. Now, granted, if I was him, I'd probably live in like the nicest apartment I could possibly buy in the city. But hey, I respect it.
I actually think this speaks well of him. Tells you something about him, about his character, about the substance. Because most young people, you get any kind of money for the first time, particularly that kind of money, you want to show it. You want to. Most young people want to show it. I told this story before. When I got my first real job out of college, commercial appeal, and I was making whatever I was making, and it was nothing, but it felt like something at the time. And among the first things I did was I went out and bought a brand new BMW. It was stupid. I couldn't afford it.
Right.
But I just like, I say this as something I realized about myself years later. There was something there that made me want to show people, hey, I'm doing okay. Hey, I've made it. I'm from here, but now look at me. And so I got the downtown apartment, the BMW. And I was broke. I mean, I was going into debt. I couldn't afford anything I had. There is nothing about my lifestyle that I could afford. But I wanted so badly to show people I was something that I was making these purchases to try to be cool and going broke. Just going broke. And okay, ready? I didn't have $50 million a year. This dude's on a $200 million contract.
I know, man.
And there is nothing about him that makes him want to do the things I just explained to you I wanted to do. And I know, I don't even think the story I just told about me does not speak well of me. It's a little embarrassing. I care less about that stuff now. I wear hoodies every day, I'm not trying to show anybody anything anymore.
Sure.
But there was a time in my life where I did feel I was compelled to do that. I wanted you to, whether I was doing okay or not, I wanted you to think I was, right? Well, that's not a good quality. If my sons were like that, I would try to change them. If my oldest son, if I thought he was out there trying to be a little too showy, I would talk to him about that and be like, that's not the way we want. Fortunately, he's much more grounded and balanced at 21 than I was, like a million times better at that age than I was. But if he were like me, if I saw myself in him, I would try to change that. I would not want him to be that way. So it doesn't speak well of me, but like I did grow out of it eventually. I love that Jalen Hurts. There's nothing in there like that with him. I know if I were him, I'd be wanting to show the world everything. Oh, remember when y'all were laughing at me when I got benched? Tell me I couldn't throw? Well, now look at me. Look at this contract. Look at this house. Look at my trophies. Look at everything. And it's just, He's not wired that way.
Nah, he does seem like a humble dude.
And that's the way to be. That's the way to be.
It made me happy seeing him yesterday, too, at Disney World riding the Tron roller coaster. It just put a smile on my face. I don't know. Do we have the video of that, Kyra? If we don't, it's okay. It's just
he
like a quick
seems
little
like
clip.
an awesome guy. We talked to Michael Lees about this yesterday. The Patrick Mahomes story is a great story, but it's just a story about being awesome at football.
Look at him. Look at him.
Look at that. Is that the Tron?
That's the Tron roller coaster.
How about that?
Yeah, he was at Disney World. Yeah, you win the Super Bowl.
Of course, you go to Disney World. Of course you do, right?
Yeah.
The Patrick Mahomes story is great. These are our Super Bowl quarterbacks, but it's just a story about being awesome at football. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than that, but that's his story. Patrick Mahomes is an awesome football player. Tell me about Patrick Mahomes. Awesome football player. Mm-hmm. Tell me the Jalen Hurts story. Such a better story. I mean, in terms of like the story you want to tell your kids, show your kids. This will actually be a major motion picture someday. Mm-hmm. The Jalen Hurts story. Because it is, I would think on some level, unimaginable to think you can go from getting benched in a championship game for a younger player and lose your starting job in college and then one day be the starting quarterback for an NFL franchise who wins a Super Bowl. Like, those things should not go together. I heard other people say, well, Tom Brady sat on the bench at Michigan. I'm not talking about Tom Brady sat on the bench at Michigan until it was time to play. Mm-hmm. Eli Manning sat on the bench at Ole Miss until it was time to play. I'm talking about it's your job. You're the starting quarterback. And then they say, you're not anymore. You've lost your job. You no longer get to be the starting quarterback of this program in this game. And next year when you come back, you don't get to be the starting quarterback either. We have moved on from you. But one day you'll be the starting quarterback for a Super Bowl champion. You can't be the starting quarterback for Alabama no more.
Yeah.
But you will be the starting quarterback for a Super Bowl champion. That is an incredible story. And the way he handled every bit of that with class and dignity and there is an amazing message in there. He is as impressive as you can get. I wasn't rooting for the Eagles the other night, but I don't mind watching that guy get everything he's getting because I guess this was a theme of the Super Bowl. Like, it deserves it all. He deserves it all. He deserves what he's getting. And, yeah, there will be a day where you take your kids to see the Jalen Hurts movie. Mm. It'll be Paramount, big studio, big. He's got. We'll see. Story's not done, obviously, but we've already got enough to make the 2 hour and 20-minute movie. No problem.
Number 5.
Another plane collision. This one at a private airport in Scottsdale, Arizona. I was watching this last night.
I saw the video.
So it's a plane, private airport, and you see it land, and then like the landing gear collapses, and it just, boom, goes right into another plane. A person's dead.
Yeah.
But the way it was initially, the news was trickling out.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing you realize is, the reporters, they start running the numbers, and it's like, this plane is registered to Vince Neil of Motley Crue fame for younger people. Motley Crue was a big arena rock band.
I know Motley Crue.
I know you know Motley Crue. Vince Neil was the front man for that. Mm-hmm. Tommy Lee was also, the drummer and big band.
Nikki Sixx,
big band. So Vince Neil, that's the first thing you learn. This one plane, the plane that was landing and then crashed into the other plane, that plane's registered to Vince Neil. And somebody's dead. Is Vince Neil dead? So very quickly, Vince Neil's people are like, Vince was not on the plane, but his girlfriend was, and her friend was, and they're both okay. And then we just sort of left it there. All right, Vince, somebody's dead, but it's not Vince Neil. He wasn't even on the plane. Then the next thing you hear is the other plane that got hit. You know who it's registered to?
Who?
Vince Vaughn.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't hear this part of the story.
Vince Neil's plane hit Vince Vaughn's plane.
Oh, this is like some Illuminati stuff. Yeah.
A lot of Vinces.
This has got For You tab written all over it,
I'm
buddy.
glad Vince Lombardi didn't have a plane.
I know.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. But
what's it mean?
I don't know what it means. But best I can tell right now, Vince Neil's still alive. Vince Vaughn's still alive.
Good.
Somebody is dead.
Not good.
I don't remember us running planes into each other all the time like we seem to be doing now. We're running planes into each other a lot.
Something's up. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I mean, these are like private, smaller planes, but I don't know.
I did listen to a podcast right after the
go ahead.
Black Hawk helicopter ran into the
Yes.
plane above our nation's
Potomac,
capital. And I listened to a podcast about that, and basically the premise was this person who works for the New York Times, has been covering aviation for decades or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this person was like, I cannot tell you how many people have told me over the years, this is going to happen. We don't have enough people. We don't have enough air traffic controllers. People are working too much, long hours, too many responsibilities, and we are having so many close calls. No tragedy yet, but there has been so many close calls. It is just a matter of time unless we address this.
Well, remember the Gonzaga plane?
Yeah.
I mean, they almost got ran into.
So what you would find out, you start digging into the data, which isn't publicly available, but this reporter had access to it.
Okay.
Because the way the reporter explained it, these people who work in the industry were leaking to her these documents because they want this stuff out there. It's like our bosses will not listen to us. We're telling them this is going to be a bad thing sometime. And by the way, this is why American Airlines is going to be sued for $1 bazillion, because there's going to be emails and paper trails that
show that they weren't staffed. Some position wasn't staffed. Yeah.
Either the airport or the airline. Like, everybody's getting sued, and big checks are getting written because there's going to be evidence to suggest you knew this was you knew something like this was on the way, because that's what this reporter said. For years, I'll just say years. For years, people have been saying we're cutting too many corners, and people aren't. It's everything. The wildfires out in California. Every time something like this happens, people go, I can't believe it. And then somebody else comes on television. You know what they say? Oh, I can believe it. I've been telling people this was going to happen if we didn't do something. That's the wildfire story. It's the planes, everything. So what this person was explaining was we're finally here where everybody knows we got real problems that need to be addressed, because now people are dead in the bottom of a river. But they've known. The fact that it took this long for two aircrafts to collide in the skies of America is just luck. Mm-hmm. It's just luck. Based on the way we were doing things and how many corners they were cutting, what people who really understand this stuff, it's just luck. It could have happened at any time. It's almost happened way more times than you realize. I think it was what they would consider a close call on average happening every day in America. Every day. You just don't hear about it. But it's happening every day in America.
Wow.
We got to get these planes to stop hitting each other.
We got to get these planes to stop hitting. I mean, it's scary. Dude. I bet for you, as someone who flies every day.
Well, I mean, I've done like 1.4 million miles in the air. I'm getting on a plane today.
Uh-huh.
And for years, I don't even think about it.
Right.
Like, get a drink, sit down. I don't look out the window. I don't think about anything. I'm not nervous, nothing. And I'm still not. But it's in my head.
Yeah.
It's in my head a little bit just because you keep watching this stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen multiple plane collisions.
And that's just something we never, it's just so rare. And when you get multiple, that's when it's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild out there.
I saw 10 plane crashes a year around the world. So I understand all the numbers. Practically speaking, what I'm about to do today is the safest thing I could do. Yeah.
I understand all that. I'm just saying, I just watched a helicopter fly into a commercial airline a few weeks ago. Saw another airplane just fly straight into like a coffee shop. Mm-hmm. Now Vince Neil's plane's running into Vince Vaughn's plane. Just a lot of collision. I liked it better when I didn't see planes colliding so often.
Me too.
That's the world I liked living in.
Same.
Maybe we'll get back there someday.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
If you go to a hustle game, you're going to see a very fast-paced game. A lot of action, both offensively, defensively.
Nice rejection right there.
In a great environment at the Lander Center. You could bring family there, kids are running around.
Down the lane and one for Zion Poland.
And then you're going to see a lot of talented basketball players competing at a high level.
At the National Civil Rights Museum, history moves us forward. The question remains, how does history move you?
Keep on talking, marching up to freedom now.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Bill Ford Tough Studio. It looks ugly out there, Bennett.
It's going to be a gross week.
Why is it doing that?
It's going to be a gross week. I like it.
I know how much you like this.
This is my kind of weather.
This is what Bennett
Dark
enjoys.
And gloomy. I like it.
Gloomy.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, actually, unless I got to go outside. Then I'd prefer it not to be like that.
No, it's a good night to, cuddle up on your couch.
Oh, I think it's always a good night to cuddle up on the couch.
Watch Grizz-Suns.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you plan to do? Do you cuddle and watch the Grizzlies game?
Do we cuddle on the couch?
Do you cuddle, actually cuddle? Do you sit near each other or cuddle?
No,
cuddle?
I mean, no.
Do you spoon while you're watching the Grizzlies?
No, usually it's like the kids taking up every bit of our living room with all of their stuff and pushing us out of the way and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, you know how it is. So now there isn't as much time to cuddle as there used to be, unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Man, cuddling gets harder.
Yeah, it gets harder once you have those kids. Yeah.
Cuddling does get harder.
Yeah.
It's a nice night to cuddle. I think you can say that about any day,
right.
regardless of
Valentine's week.
It's Valentine's week.
Yeah.
You looking forward to Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a rough stretch for me, man. From December through February, we got everybody's birthday, Valentine's Day, Christmas. It's a tough 2.5 month stretch for my wallet for sure.
Well, I hope you make it through it.
No, I'll be good.
I hope you make it through it.
Yeah, it's all about creating memories.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's what I read that on Instagram, I think. Let's do GP's carryout.
Time for GP's carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly focused on your Memphis Grizzlies. Big game tonight. Footprint Center, Phoenix, Arizona. The dysfunctional Suns are the opponent, 26-26. Imagine having a Devin Booker and a Kevin Durant. You can't do better than 26-26.
Yeah, I would assume KD's going to play tonight. He didn't play in the last game, but I don't see him on
He's not on the injury report. Devin Booker out but I mean, no, Bradley Beal out.
No.
Devin Booker available. KD should be available. Grizzlies are still 3.5-point favorites.
Okay.
On the road. Let's go. Hey,
bounce back opportunity.
Bounce back opportunity for the second place team in the West. An opportunity for they tried to fast track it in Phoenix. That ain't the way you do it.
That's not the way you do it.
They tried to fast track
No.
it. They weren't patient like we were patient here.
Slow and sweet.
We draft our stars and then we develop them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way. That's how you get to be second in the West.
Yep.
You don't get to be first necessarily, but that's how you get to be second for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You draft your stars, you develop them. You build smartly. You don't try to fast track it.
No.
They tried to fast track it.
No.
They said, bring me a Kevin Durant and bring me a Bradley Beal. And now they hate Bradley Beal and they wanted to get rid of Kevin Durant too. Of course they're dysfunctional. Why wouldn't they be? Take advantage of their dysfunction.
Yeah.
Take advantage of their dysfunction and embarrass them tonight on TNT.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
What's today's biggest game?
I'm taking you to college basketball.
Oh, we got a win last night.
Who'd you have yesterday?
Houston.
Okay, Bennett.
Houston won big.
They beat Baylor pretty good.
Yeah, we're looking. Where do you know where we're sitting at right now?
Your record?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got
Well,
you.
give me my W.
I got you updated all the time, baby. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna want to hear it, but I'll give it to you.
Because I was in a slump last week. Last week was bad.
You are now 187, 185, and 4.
I thought it was better than that.
Negative 17.9 units.
Last week was bad. I was doing well. Last week was bad.
Well, tonight, let's see if you can get 2 in a row.
Okay.
Number 5, Tennessee, at number 15, Kentucky. Tips at 6 o'clock on the ESPN. Tennessee, 2.5-point favorite on the road. Ooh. If you want the balls, you got to lay 2.5 inside Rupp Arena.
God, that seems... Honestly, that seems too good to be true. I'll take it. Yeah, give me the Vols.
Bennett said he's laying 2.5. He says Kentucky's struggling.
They're struggling, right? What am I missing here?
You've lost faith in Mark Pope. It sounds like you've lost faith in first-year Kentucky coach Mark Pope.
I haven't lost faith in Mark Pope. I think that he's a first-year head coach at that school. Yeah,
everything was going.
You got to build it.
Everything was going great up until he had to coach against John Calipari, and they lost that game. And now it's just they're underdogs at home.
What's Tennessee doing?
If they
on the
lose
road
this
lately?
game, Kentucky, they'll drop to 7-7 in quadrant 1. They've lost 4 of their past 6.
Oh, yeah, dude. This is a revenge game for the Vols. Yes. Come on. Are you kidding me?
Bennett said, are you kidding him? Lay it then. 2.5.
Their last loss was at home to Kentucky in a kind of close game.
Bennett says revenge is on tap for the Vols tonight. He's laying 2.5 inside Rupp Arena.
What are we watching on TV?
I downloaded a movie. Should I tell you what I downloaded for my flight?
What'd you download?
It just became available to stream.
Okay.
And I've downloaded it. And I've actually been looking forward to watching this. And it is nominated for stuff.
Okay.
A Real Pain.
Ooh. You're talking about this is
Jesse Eisenberg
and Kieran Culkin. I saw it.
Kieran Culkin. Did you like it?
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. Short and sweet. It's that's going to be a good plane movie.
I love Kieran Culkin.
He's great, and he's great in this.
And he's just funny.
Yeah.
Like every time he does an interview, he's just funny.
Yeah, the movie's about
he's just good.
Their grandma dies and they go to where do they go? Norway? Was it? No, it wasn't Norway. Where did they go?
Did they go? I thought the basis was like they went to Poland.
Poland, that's right. They go to Poland. Why did I say Norway? Yeah, they go to Poland. There, and the thing about it is, like I said, it's a well, I don't want to give anything away.
Okay,
I don't want to give anything away, but it's just it's a quick, like, sweet, feel good type of movie. I really liked it.
I like both of these guys. I like Kieran Culkin, and then Jesse Eisenberg seems. You don't like Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
He seems great.
Yep.
Like he wrote this.
Yeah, it's his movie. Yeah, I believe directed, maybe.
And do you know, by the way? Do you play fantasy football? So are you familiar with Jamie Eisenberg? CBS Sports, Jamie Eisenberg, fantasy football?
Are they related?
Yeah, they're cousins.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're cousins.
Oh, yeah, I follow him.
Yeah,
he's a big name in the fantasy world.
That's right. Yeah, his cousin is Jesse Eisenberg. So every time I see Jesse Eisenberg, I'm impressed by him. And every time I see Kieran Culkin, I enjoy him.
Yeah. You're going to like this one.
All right. I'll download it. I got so much stuff in this phone. I've decided I'm not working on the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not working the rest of the day. I just got to unplug, and I got so much stuff in here.
Yeah.
Netflix downloads in here. Hey, did you watch Raw last night?
A little bit. I saw some of it. Did you see Gunther hit that kid with his jacket?
Gunther has had enough of the yeeting.
Dude, Gunther ripped his jacket off and threw it like in the direction of the crowd, and it leveled some poor kid in the front row.
Gunther is tired of the yeeting.
Yeah.
Jey Uso was yeeting in Nashville last night, and Gunther put an end to that pretty quickly.
Yeah, he did.
All right?
That's going to be our WrestleMania matchup.
Yes, WrestleMania. That'll probably be the Saturday night main event. Gunther, main event Jey Uso. Logan Paul was in the main event last night.
I love Logan Paul.
He is an awesome wrestler.
I used to hate him. I used to hate his brother, and now his brother, whatever, but Logan Paul, he is goated in my book. He's great.
I'm talking about...
No, he puts in the work, dude.
If you were just ranking wrestlers on ability, he's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Go watch what he did. Like, flying around everywhere.
Yep.
Just outrageous stuff. Like, he's fun.
Yeah. He's good.
I know people hate him for all the reasons people hate him.
Mm-hmm.
But if this guy wants to be like the biggest deal in wrestling, he could be.
No, he's good at it, man. That match with Ray was cool last night.
He was awesome. So I had fun with that last night. Got Netflix stuff downloaded in here. Got to finish that OJ documentary.
Okay.
I watched the first two, liked it. Got to knock that out. Anyway, A Real Pain.
Yeah, good. 2 thumbs up from me.
2 thumbs up from Bennett. I'm going to watch A Real Pain on my flight to Texas.
What's the best thing we've read?
I used the top 25 and 1 this morning to write about Clemson North Carolina game last night. Clemson beat North Carolina by like 20. North Carolina is now 1-10 in quadrant 1. 1-10 in quadrant 1. Auburn's 11-2. Those are the opposite. North Carolina, preseason top 10 team, now obviously unranked, not projected to make the NCAA tournament. And if they miss it, Hubert Davis will have missed the NCAA tournament in 2 of the past 3 years. And in the past 5 decades, the only North Carolina coach who missed the NCAA tournament 2 out of 3 years was Matt Doherty.
That's what I was going to say.
And he got fired just as soon as it happened. So that's becoming one of the bigger questions in the sport. Is North Carolina going to make a coaching change on Hubert Davis after 4 years? Because he's a little bit like Penny in that he's an alum coaching his alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
So and that makes it more complicated than it otherwise would be. But Matt Doherty was also an alum, and they got him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, among the differences is, my understanding was that Matt didn't have a lot of friends in the building, and Hubert's like genuinely like everybody likes him.
Yeah.
So I think he'll get 1 more year, probably, no matter what happens. I don't want to say no matter what happens, but like just barely missed it. Maybe get 1 more year.
Mm.
But I was asked about it. What should North Carolina do? And I really do think this is the right answer. Rid yourself of how many years he's been here and he's an alum, and do you really want to fire an alum after only 4 years? And my God, he coached the national championship game in year 1. So, like, we just forget about that already? Rather than focus on all that stuff, here's the question you should be asking yourself. You're the North Carolina president. You have one of the biggest brands, if not the biggest brand in basketball, North Carolina basketball. Michael Jordan played there. If you put every job on the table for coaches and said every job in the country, you make the exact same amount of money. Let's call it $10 million. You can have any job in the country. The money doesn't matter because you make every job. You coach it, this school or that school, the money's exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
You can have any job you want. A lot of coaches would say North Carolina. Give me that job. That's the one I want. Point being, it might be the best job in the country from coaches' perspectives. So if you're North Carolina, you know what you should ask yourself? Do we have one of the best coaches in the sport? I don't care about the resume. I don't care about missing the tournament, making the tournament. Just this is the question. Do we have one of the best coaches in the sport? If you were to poll college coaches and say, who's the best coach in college basketball? Okay, Dan Hurley might get number 1. Bill Self might get number 2. Rick Pitino might get number 3. Or Rick Pitino might get number 1. But either way, that's the list. Where's our guy on that list? And if he's not in the top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20, what are we doing? You are North Carolina. You are one of the best basketball brands in the sport. You should have one of the best coaches. At Kansas, they got that. At Duke, too early to know, but that's what they think they got. Do you have that at North Carolina? If you don't, then it's probably time to make a change. I have never worked closely with somebody for multiple years, and I can't tell you whether I think they're good at their job or not. Like I could. You let me work for a couple years with somebody, and I can tell you whether I think they're good at their job. They should know whether they think Hubert Davis is good at his job or not. And I would not care at all about what the selection committee thinks of North Carolina's resume. At the end of the season, I would just ask myself a very simple question. Do we have one of the best coaches in the sport? If you think you do, you should keep him. But if you think you don't, then the next question is, could we hire one? Could we hire somebody right now that if we did it, everybody'd say, oh man, North Carolina just got one of the best coaches in the sport. Can we do that? If so, we need to do it. Big questions. You can read about it, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is an interesting day. I'm flying to Lubbock, Texas today.
What's going on in Lubbock? I would assume
Texas Tech is there.
Yeah, I would assume Texas Tech's doing something.
Arizona State is playing Texas Tech tomorrow night on CBS Sports Network. And I was asked by my superiors if I'd be willing to not come to New York yesterday. Under normal circumstances, I would have flown to New York yesterday. And I'd be in New York. I'd be in studio tonight and tomorrow, and I'd be in New York for a while.
Yeah, I got you.
They said, hey, can you skip that part, go to Lubbock instead? And I don't argue with my superiors too often, so I said, sure. So I'm going to do sideline tomorrow night, Arizona State at Texas Tech.
Okay.
It'll be my second.
I will be watching.
My second ever trip to Lubbock, Texas. My first trip to Lubbock, Texas, I went there to see Bob Knight when he was coaching Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Break the all-time win record. And he didn't do it. He lost. They lost to UNLV. It was right before New Year's.
I remember that.
And they lose to UNLV. So it's like I'm there to write. Bob Knight became the all-time winning, and he's not. He just lost the game. So then my boss said, like, what are you going to do now? Because the next game wasn't until like January 1st or January 2nd.
Right.
And they're like, what are you going to do? And I said, I'll do it. But like, I'd prefer, are you asking me what do I want to do? Or are you telling me what to do? Let's stop here for a second.
Yeah.
No, what do you want to do? It's up to you. I don't really care. I want to come home.
I don't want to spend like a week in Lubbock.
I don't want to spend a week in Lubbock. And so they said, cool, just come home. So then the way I remember it, there was like real bad winds. Like we couldn't take off. Everything was grounded in Lubbock. Tornadoes, man. I think it was tornadoes.
Gotcha.
Everything was grounded in Lubbock. And it reached a point to where I've been in Lubbock a day longer than I should be, and I'm just sitting at the airport. And I finally decided if I can get to Dallas, can I get home? Nothing's taking off from Lubbock, but can I just so I rented a car, drove from Lubbock to Dallas, and then caught a flight home from Dallas because I could take off from there just to get home in time for New Year's Eve. That's how badly I wanted either to not be in Lubbock or to be home for New Year's Eve. I can't remember. But, buddy, it was like a planes, trains, and automobile. I hope today goes a little more smoothly.
Good luck, man.
Yes, I'm good. Also, I'm on a different airline. This is my first non-Delta flight in like 15 years. Delta doesn't go to Lubbock.
Oh, that's got to give you a little bit of anxiety.
I'll be sitting in 18B like this. Like
you peasant.
Like a peasant. I'll be sitting in the back like a peasant. I don't know what this is like. Don't have access to the Delta Sky Club today? I don't even know what to do at the airport.
Welcome to our world.
I don't even know what to do at the airport. What do normal people do at the airport?
Well,
go to Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, you always got to find a Starbucks or a Chick-fil-A.
I guess I'm just going to go sit at Chick-fil-A.
I like to go to the Hudson newsstand and get a book or a magazine, something like that.
Man, there wasn't nothing worse. Once upon a time, you get on a plane and you would have forgotten anything to entertain you. And you were reduced to just flipping through the Sky Mall again.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many hours I wasted just flipping through the Sky Mall. They don't even put those on planes anymore.
No, they don't. You're screwed if you forget your stuff.
Yeah, but now everybody's got this. As long as you got this, you're fine.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
I think as long as you got this, you're fine. So anyway, I got production meetings in the morning, shoot-arounds, all that stuff. What I'm trying to tell you is Lang Whitaker is going to host the show tomorrow.
Me and Lang will hold it down.
He and Bennett will be here. They're going to stay up late tonight, consume Grizz-Suns, and then they'll be here for you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And then my plan will be to be talking to you again Thursday Live from Lubbock, Texas, I guess.
Oh, let's go.
I guess that's what we're doing.
I'm anxious for the report.
It'll be the first Gary Parrish show from Lubbock, Texas. Oh, we doing this thing everywhere?
Bring me back a souvenir.
What do you want?
I don't know. What are they known for in Lubbock besides the Red Raiders? And are they the Red Raiders?
The Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yeah.
I think oil.
Okay.
I think oil. I think I can get you some oil.
Okay.
I think
Like a can of oil?
I think just a can of oil.
Okay.
I think that's what they have in Lubbock. Oil. I think that's.
Everybody needs it.
I think.
Well, you don't. You have a Tesla,
Yeah.
but I need it.
Yeah. You need it. You need it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you some oil from Texas.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring you some Texas oil.
Sounds good.
What kind do you like?
I don't really know.
You don't really know.
I don't really know. Just find out when you
What's
get
the
there.
best oil? Are people like when people walk into AutoZone? Do they? Is it clear what oil you should get and what oil you shouldn't get?
I mean, I have to get like that premium. When I get an oil change, I got to get the premium oil. I don't know why. That's just what they say I have to get from my Jeep.
Yeah.
Feel like I was lied to.
Do you believe? Because this is a conversation my wife and I have, and by conversation I mean debate,
Mm-hmm.
and by debate it could be argument. She has a vehicle that she insists has to have
the best
gas, the 93 gas, and I'm like, I don't believe that. And she's like, well, you don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you telling me if I put 87 in here, it's just going to not work? And she's like, it will mess the car up. And I said, I don't believe that. And we have never settled this debate.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'll sneak 87 in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll sneak 87 in there.
I don't buy that about the gasoline.
I don't either. But she's wasting money on gas.
I'm a regular unleaded kind of guy.
That's what I always used to be. And
Yeah.
you ready for this? This is what I used. This is my basis for my argument was this. I too used to have a car that they told me had to have 93, and you know what I said? I don't believe you. And I just put 87 in it.
And it drove just fine.
Never had an issue, not one. Never had an issue, not one. Whose side do you want to take? Gary's or Kelly's?
I think I'm going to take yours in this
Thank you.
situation. I'm a regular unleaded kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bare
minimum.
Bare minimum. I just don't believe.
I'm trying to pay for this fancy gas.
No.
You seen gas prices lately?
Yeah. Right?
No.
She don't even know.
She don't even know.
She's probably happy that
You're polluting her car.
I filled her tank up yesterday. She don't even know what. She don't
Watch
even
it break down. Watch it. Even go get a phone call.
I filled it up with 87 so much. I put like $60 of 87 in there.
Yeah, you're going to get a phone call, bro.
I just don't subscribe. I think they're tricking us. I think this is the one conspiracy I believe in.
It is me too. I think they're tricking us.
They're tricking us.
You do not need that
You don't
expensive
need that.
gas.
You don't need
it.
You do not need it. And I want to be clear. I have no idea if I'm right. I just think I'm right. I feel like I'm right. I don't think you need it.
I don't either.
And my evidence is this. I had a car. They said, you better put 93 in there. And I said, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. Break down. I don't care. But I'm not putting 93. And it never broke down. I had that car up until somebody hit me. I don't believe it.
I don't either.
I don't like 93.
No, I don't either.
Anyway, Lang Whitaker's going to be here tomorrow. That's what we were trying to tell you.
Yep.
All right. I guess that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good, rep your hood.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Our fans have a huge impact on our ability to play to the level that we're striving for.
Drop off, Durant. Oh! Well, you wanted home crowd involvement.
I love those moments where you see our guys engaging in the fans, and the fans just get pumped up.
They are standing in FedEx Forum.
I would hate to be on the other side with the opposition when FedEx Forum's rolling. That's such an unbelievable relationship that our group has with our fans.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
It's your turn to drive into luxury at Southland Casino Hotel. Join us on Saturdays to win your share of up to $1 million in free play and prizes. And don't miss the chance to take home luxury itself during the grand finale drawings. Drive off in a 2025 Land Rover on February 1st or a 2025 Range Rover on March 1st. 2 vehicles, 2 finales, 1 million ways to enjoy luxury only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 or up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.